Yeah. Come here. Shortly before he died, he called me and, you want to say something? Say hi. He said that there had been a kind of a minor tragedy with his cat, and the cat had had a severe injury to its tail, and he said, we took the cat to Walmart. So Walmart, why Walmart? Well, they're the world's largest retailer. He liked to tell jokes that everybody could understand. And it's that kind of mediocre humor that we're passing down to the next generation. So, what? You really want to be in the limelight. He had an adventurous streak, which was very inspirational to me. I found out many of these things fairly late in his life. He divulged that he had gone skiing when he was about 17 in high school for the first time, and later took up skiing when he had a family and someone to ski with, and took me and my sister skiing, including Europe. The Europe connection is very strong in our family, and the sense of exploring the boundaries of the world and that kind of thing, even intellectually, is something I trace back to my father. He had a 1960 MGA Roadster. Somewhere around here there's this great picture of a baby blue sports car that he had when he and my mom got married, and she's very proud to this day that they were so cool and hip. No, that's... He was a wonderful dad. I found a lot of inspiration when I became a father. What are you doing? When I was 6, you want to grab it? No, it's not a toy. When I was 6, I got my first bike. It was a Schwinn, and he taught me how to ride without training wheels. And I went tooling down the block and realized I didn't know how to stop, so I crashed into the lawn.
That's great.
There's a metaphor there, I'm sure, somewhere. You know, teach them to ride, but they got to figure out how to stop. And the other great little metaphor that I discovered that he told me later in life is that he was very proud of his achievements at church, and being a member of the choir, and he said, I never sing very loud, but I always show up on Sundays. I'm sure there's another metaphor in there somewhere that, you know, he was a relatively soft-spoken guy, but he was always there for us. He I wrote this morning. I learned many things from him which I practice to this day. Number one, undoubtedly, was being loving and generous and affectionate. It's something you do naturally. He passed that on to me. Finally, his values were an inspiration to me. They were very clear. He walked the talk. You don't lie. You own up to your mistakes. You take responsibility for your actions. You don't exceed the speed limit. You treat people with respect, and you expect the same of others. Ran into a gentleman here who said that Ron was one of those people where he found injustice, he had to speak up, and I found the same thing. For instance, in our family, you never spoke a harsh word to Joan, who was very protective. And even if she put your favorite jeans through the wash with a pink blouse and then they came out the wrong color, you have to speak respectfully, and we carry that with us to this day. A co-worker named Randy summed it up on the website that we set up for him. He had worked with Ron at the bank, and Ron, by the way, was very, very angry and upset with recent developments in the banking world, and it all had to do with his principles. He was just shocked that there were not as many people with principles that had steered things the wrong way, I guess. Randy wrote, he was a man of the highest principles, and at the end of the day, that's not a bad way to be remembered. I really like that. So, thank you all for coming. Do us a favor. One day in the near future, listen to some J.S. Bach or Dave Brubeck and raise a glass to Ron. Thanks again. Take care.
Well, I'm a good person to follow because when you're talking about principles, is that better? I'm Becky Bosky, and I chair St. Mark's Healing Racism Commission, and I would like to share something about Ron with you. In the fall of 1999, Ron participated in the organization of St. Mark's Committee for the Healing of Racism. He was qualified to serve in this committee because he was a St. Mark's parishioner who had also participated in the Chamber of Commerce's 10-week Institute for the Healing of Racism to become sensitized to the evils of racism. In March, he had attended his first summit on, it was the first summit on racism that was arranged by the Grand Rapids Area Center for Ecumenism Racial Justice Institute. These both helped spur him to work for change, to heal racism. CHR was commissioned by Bishop Lee here at St. Mark's in January of 2000. And the next year, the vestry elevated the committee to the status of commission because to acknowledge the importance and the ongoing work and the challenge of healing racism in our society. The primary goal of CHR was to help change how we and our fellow parishioners feel and think and respond to racism. Since then, CHR has shared information, planned activities, promoted community and media events to broaden our perspectives. And Ron eagerly served on the commission until the fall of 2002. He also worked, and I think this was a Rotary project, for Calling All Colors. It was a program to help sensitize elementary children about the challenges for other children of color. One project was made by the children was a quilt, and I believe it had hands on it. And Ron arranged for that quilt to spend the summer here on display, the summer of 2002. So I appreciated knowing and working with Ron, and I thought you might like to know that piece too.
Thank you.